All right, what's good? What's good? Mark, are you all right over there or what?
Whoop, whoop. Hell yeah. I'm so thick and TP. I'm the new neighborhood rich man. I got toilet paper. I got Lysol spray. What? I got supplies to waste, man. I'm like the ultimate hoarder. All the neighborhood is coming to me now. I'm the new kingpin around here. That's why I'm dressed up like P. Diddy.
He's even got Kleenex boxes behind him.
P. Diddy.
He's like slinging toilet paper out the back window.
I'm thick
He's
and
like,
ass
hey,
wipe
I got
over
some
here.
toilet paper.
Right. All right. So clearly the three of us are observing social distance.
One of us is going crazy. What?
Yeah.
Well, we're all already crazy.
And Mark and I were talking, Tony, before you got up on audio and hear us. And frankly, you kind of look like a pervert looking at porn on the computer there in a dark room.
He totally does. You're right.
He's
Hey,
like
man,
one of those. He's like one
get
of those.
some lights on.
Yeah. He's like a weenie whacker behind the screen.
What's with all the lotion bottles?
Yeah. That's wicked.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got all that lotion. You need my product now.
Yeah.
You got none of this
Oh,
to
shit.
do the paperwork.
A couple more of these, you never know.
What most people don't know, and the women watching him, that he's like 350 pounds from the chest down.
Yeah. He's got like the biggest ass on the planet. That's why toilet paper ain't gonna work for him.
What the fuck did I sign up for today?
I've got paper towels for his big ass.
Yeah. Just don't flush him, man. All right. So
Here's
My
a tip.
hippie
Here's
ass is
tip
using a
for you.
reusable wiper.
yeah. So okay. So it's been a little while since we posted a podcast. Clearly, unless you live in a cave, you know why we haven't posted. It's been busy. I've been busy at work in some crazy chaos way. And then Corona hit us. So you all right, Mark? You all right?
I just decontaminate every 25 seconds just to make sure I'm safe
All right.
from myself.
All right. So I know we tried to do a podcast a few weeks ago. Mark and Veronica had some great news. But we'll let Mark go first with his great news.
Here it is, ladies. This is what you've missed out on. I done got married. So this toilet paper king is off the market. Sorry, girls.
You must have.
Yeah, happily married to a lady I've known for about 4 years now. So
It must have been all that great investing you did that caught her eye.
hey, man, it was and this is really timely too because she's a nurse. So
Oh,
I got built-in healthcare.
yeah. All right. So today's topic, I guess we'll talk about this social distancing and this isolation thing going on. And you guys can attest to this. Like right after our critical incidents, we didn't want to go out. We were self-isolating. We knew throughout our whole career what social distancing was. I didn't want to get too close to a crackhead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, well, I'll start with Teabag. How's life over there? And we're not in lockdown in this state, but
No.
how's it going? I know you and I have talked in the past. I think the three of us have talked in the past about trying to go through PTSD without people close by, right? So
Yeah.
what do you got to say to that there, Teabag?
Yeah. So, I mean, the isolation, I mean, I'm kind of used to it. Like you kind of just said, but for the most part, my daily hasn't really changed. I'm still going to work. The medical practice is still open. So, we're still doing daily functions as normal. I'm obviously not getting to work out as much, so that's going to be a big challenge as of late. But the isolation's a little different now that I have a roommate. So it's kind of it's a different situation lately because I do have someone here constantly. So I can definitely admit that has helped a ton for
Well, that's
sure.
good. So now do you guys have all the medical supplies you need over there and masks and shit?
We're definitely running low on stuff. We're calling in and seeing, if we can order stuff ahead of time, and there's nothing on order, basically to be ordered if there's nothing left. So that is definitely something we're running into right now, especially because um, we're such a multifaceted medical practice that we need so many different broad range of supplies that we're definitely running into a lot of problem.
So now how are you guys foreseeing some kind of slowdown or um I know you guys are appointment only, but with all the spread coming up, are you getting triggered more, do you think?
So yeah, I mean, we're definitely. I would definitely say um, there's so much fear around that it's been challenging to not almost fall into that aspect of it, but going on hikes and kind of getting out, for a little bit outside into some normalcy has seemed to help a lot. It really has.
Is the when you get out, are you finding yourself more paranoid, staying away from people? You know, that first responder
Oh,
mentality?
for sure, man. Your head's always on a swivel. You're walking past people, and usually I'm the "Hey, how are you doing?" type of thing. But now it's like you almost you almost have your guard up without even meaning to have it up.
Now
It's definitely reminiscent of uh, a time I call the Ferguson riots. It, media's screwing everything up. Their fear factor is just ramping up like crazy. It's just we're in some crazy times right now, that a lot of people are listening to a lot of wrong things when there's so many right things in the mishmash of bullshit.
Yeah, now I can tell you because I saw you guys there teabag all the time, you second responders. You showed up with PPE on most calls,
Yeah,
unlike Mark and I, where a
for
lot of
sure.
times a stiff pair of gloves that had been in the car for 30 years that were never used got pulled out on a traffic accident.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
So Tony, you're familiar with all this. So not really much has changed for you, right? I'm taking it this is just standard precautions for you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely very standard for, the medical side of things. We're always at that BSI, making sure that our person is safe first and foremost before we go into anything. That's that whole firefighter EMS response. But to the infectious disease part, it's a lot. I don't want to say passing it is hard, but it's a lot harder for us being like young and healthy. Even all of us are very young and healthy people. It's
Especially
harder
me.
for us to develop those things. You are, Mark. You really are.
So let me ask you this, Tony. Uh, you went through your critical incident for the most part, I believe, pretty much alone, right?
Yeah.
So as we get into this, I know you said you had a roommate. Are you seeing things different when it comes to the social distancing and maybe not going out as much? Do you know how to deal with it better and cope with it better, do you think?
So yeah, that's a great fucking question, actually, because I am seeing certain trends of like me slipping back into how I was doing the self isolation, but then I recognize it and I totally pop out of it and go do something else. Um, it's pretty crazy, because there was a point in time when, right after my incident, I would just kind of sit and watch the news and just like slip into this like news loophole rabbit hole of just, oh shit. and like every time I like watch the news now, I'm like, I can feel myself getting lost into it. And then I just like pop right out of it. I'm like, no, I gotta go. But yeah, you can definitely realize certain instances where that mimic that self-isolation for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely self-isolated when I first went through my critical incident. And frankly, I like it. I don't want to be bothered with people's shit, be honest with you. So now I find myself more comfortable, almost like the whole world is giving me permission to stay home and not fucking talk to people, you know?
It's so true.
And
Like
I'm
do what we've wanted to do for so long.
yeah, and I'm okay with it. I don't know if
And
that's
now we don't look like the freak by trying to, when people start crouching in on our 12-foot safety zone, we don't look like a freak because we start moving away. They're just like, oh, that's right. We're supposed to stay further away.
yeah.
I wasn't wrong for wanting to get a full Bubble Boy suit.
Well, that was just paranoia. So so Mark, let me ask you this. So over the last many years, you also have been going about this pretty much yourself.
Yep.
And now you've got this beautiful family and this wonderful wife that is going to experience Mark PTSD close quarters. Is this like close quarter combat at this point?
Let me tell you something, man. It's been an adjustment. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've had some high level stress components, and but overall, I've really enjoyed the fact that you know I've married into a 2-kid family, so my wife has a couple of kids, and I really enjoy interacting with these guys. I was shocked. I mean, I really shocked about that. But I get up and make breakfast for them when they're going to school. Not nowadays with the quarantine stuff, but so I really get some purpose out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
for sure.
that's been helpful. But there's also been times like when I don't even know what set me off, but I mean, I just went off on the garden hose because I couldn't get the garden hose off, and I was out there beating the hell out of the garden's whole spigot, and I finally got a saw out, and I was like cutting the thing off and hacking at it, and then the roofers, man, they were screwing up my roof, so I went out in the yard, and I tore their sign into a million pieces, and I was crumbling it up and kicking it across the yard, and
sounds reasonable.
I know. So in some ways, I've had some difficulties.
So how
been
is
some ups and downs?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're really gracious, and they've been gracious with me, which is really cool.
It sounds more like they're experiencing the same thing that the world's experiencing with that bell going straight up with Mark, and they're just trying to flatten the bell, They're trying to flatten that. They're trying to flatten it, get it even.
Yeah.
So are they right. So what is it, Mark, for you guys? Like you don't have the, like I said, we're not quarantined yet, but having them being introduced to you after all these years and then going through this, not wanting people too close to you, not wondering if you catch it, if you're going to end up in the hospital. And I'm not a fear monger or anything, but
I'm not at all.
When you're looking at the map, that's a lot of fucking people contaminated,
Honestly, man, it's my wife is a nurse, and she's given me a lot of education on the fact that it's a virus. The flu is a virus, the cold is a virus, that they haven't been able to make a dent in any kind of vaccine on the common cold. This will go respiratory on you, but if it turns into pneumonia, which is the fatal thing, once it goes to pneumonia, then they can treat it with antibiotics.
Right.
Yeah, you treat it like
in America,
pneumonia.
I mean, our recovery rate is going to be extremely high. So I'm not worried at all, to be honest with you.
Let me ask both you guys this, and Tony, you probably seen it firsthand better than any of us, but have you guys given any thought about if they called us back like they have been calling the nurses and shit, would you guys go back?
Oh, are you kidding me? I'd be there tomorrow. If that's going on, I'll go down there and wait in line. I want to be first in a car.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd
I
probably.
mean, if they'll pull us in, man, I'll definitely go back in.
Well, if they pull,
Like I'll even stock shelves, whatever they want.
yeah, if they pull us back in, the world's ending at that point.
Yeah, you
Oh,
know
I
we're
know.
all fucked.
So
Yeah.
I know Mark and I both, Tony, I don't think you were, but we were patrolling on 9/11 and all these things and going on with anthrax and all that.
Yeah.
Um,
Remember that? Yep.
Yeah, I do. And it's funny because, again, I know they're probably doing the same thing to these officers and firefighters that they did to us, which was
Yeah.
they were going to promise us all this PPE stuff. And by the time you got it and tried to put it on, it teared in fucking 6 different directions. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the rubber band busted. So half the time you tossed it off to the side. Do you sometimes wonder what life would have been like if you were still, because all of us still should be working, right? Mark, me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, we should be. There's no doubt about it.
And instead you've got Mark holding a staff of toilet paper.
This is
And-
the staff of power.
Yeah, and
The
Tony,
staff of power.
you guys
And
are,
me just sitting here looking like I'm jerking off in front of my computer.
yeah, that's exactly what you look
Why
like.
don't you just admit you don't have pants on, Tony? We already know.
just the top half, guys.
Yeah.
If you got any clothes on below the waist, it's socks. You got socks on for your sandals.
I'll leave it up to imagination.
So
Yeah, I don't imagine that. I have nightmares already.
yeah, this is all new to me, man. Trying to get this together was, I called a couple of guys to try to work out the bugs before I got this situated. So this is really just a trial run.
I hope it works, man. I hope it works.
Yeah, it's a trial run of what our podcast should become in the time, and hopefully we will get Veronica on board. I don't know if she's in straight panic mode right now. She stopped answering text. She wanted us. She was all hyped about showing up to the podcast and was like number one
She's like,
fan.
I'm so excited.
She's probably busy from a million people trying to sell their home right now. I wanted to talk to her about that, Hey,
Hey.
what's the virus doing to the real estate market, girl?
Well, the last time I talked to her, she was still going into people's houses. The weirdo. Why would you do that?
Well, that's not stopping, man. Yeah, it's not stopping any of that. But when they say only essential personnel going to work, guess who that is? Everybody in McDonald's. I went through McDonald's drive-through yesterday. I got pizza delivered yesterday, and I asked the people. I said, "Did you ever think you would be considered an essential personnel in the society, that you had to come into work and hand out food at the drive-through or bring pizza?" And they were both saying, "Yeah, that's kind of weird, isn't it?"
Isn't that crazy though? Like that really is crazy to think about. Like that is the food industry, like we would crash if we did not have grocery stores or fast food or
agriculture.
Like,
let me tell you something. It doesn't matter what element of society you break it down to. It doesn't matter if it's the janitor. He or she is essential if it comes to janitorial services. The garbage man. If the garbage man stops working long enough, it's going to rip society apart because we'll have garbage up to our eyeballs. We're all in this together. I mean, it's a complete wheel, and everybody's a little spoke in that wheel. So it doesn't matter that it's the guy running the Palo Verde or the guy turning the water on and off, making sure the pumps are up. The gas station people, I mean, Circle K and every convenience store, we need that gas, even though there's fewer people driving. Shut that off. You want to see some people go crazy? Shut off the gas.
Keep preaching, Pimp Daddy Mark.
I'm telling you now.
Hey, Mark.
I'm running for president.
But no, I mean, you're right. And that's what's insane though, is like we are so reliant upon these certain services, but yet, I'm looked at as a fucking weirdo for having a go bag and living off of the land, but that's what we need to be practicing is shit like that. Like come out and fucking experience living off of the land, because it's hard as shit to do, but we need to learn how to do it, because at some point society won't be here anymore,
Well, here's the other thing is, if everybody just had, wouldn't live day to day, like making it a habit of I got to go to the store every day because that's a lot of. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of the guys are, they go to the store every day because they don't have enough supplies in their basic pantry just to get through a week or two. Nobody should be like that. Everybody should have a fair supply, and I mean, my mom and dad were depression babies. So when we had food. Like there was cans of food always in the pantry. I think I bought a extra ham and a bag of dog food since this crisis took over.
Well, and that's the crazy thing too, is like all the shit that I usually eat, all the, grass-fed food and like the veggies,
right. Yeah.
it's prevalent. Like it's not gone. I have no problem going in and shopping.
Right.
Like it's crazy. Like that's the stuff that's going to help us survive,
So
it's
this is a trial run. So if it goes up and you guys comment, it wasn't our normal podcast, but we're just testing out the waters. Hopefully we'll do more. But we'll call it now. But Mark, just so you know, I'm going to say one word to you, and I want you to think long and heavy about this because I'm leading the in the forefront of this, and that word is bidet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So
man.
my bidet will be here shortly, and
Did you get one off Facebook Market?
No, I got it on Amazon, I think, or I don't know where I got it from, but it's a day to days away, and your throne.
You gotta video record it.
Yeah, your throne of toilet paper will be obsolete with one word.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right.
All right.
Here's a counterpoint for you, Manny. One, you have to install it, and I know you damn well you don't know how to work a wrench. So, so you'll be calling me up and say, "Hey, Toilet Paper King, come on over and hook up this bidet for me so I can make you out of work over there."
I may document it for you guys, and I might put it on our YouTube video when I finally get it installed and turned it. I might not go to high though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking to clear my throat too.
No, you would have a bidet. You know what? Tony being the ultimate survivalist that he is, Tony is he's got a bidet, like a survivalist type, which is a garden hose with a sprinkler on the end of it and an empty lawn chair.
I call it the spigot.
He just uses a little rabbit as it passes by when he's done.
Hell no, I just spread my cheeks in the shower.
or the bear. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Goodbye.
I'll see you guys on the next one.
See y'all.